Hello, friends. Today I just come up with this concept because I was thinking of something that will look good on a queen and will make her outstanding. So I tag this turban the queen's concept. So I'll be taking you through the process of creating this turban. It's my first time making it. I just came up with the idea today. So it takes a little bit of time for me to finish up. So what I would be needing is this crinoline, 3 inches crinoline, and I would be using the breast pad. I'll be using it together with breast tube. That's what they call it, breast tube, together with crinoline of 3 inches. So the reason I'm going to be combining the breast tube and the crinoline is to ensure that it will be very strong and then able to stand on its own. And then the length I am using is about 27 inches, and then the width is about 4 inches. So I would be using three of it, and I'll be using the they call this crinoline, I think, horse tail too. So I would be using it to pad it up so that it would be outstanding. And the fabric, the name of the fabric I'm using for this project is called bridal satin. Yes, bridal satin. So this part I am holding is for the base of the cap, and then this part is for the pleat. I'll be using two different parts for the pleat, and then a part of it I would be using it to cover the breast tube together with the crinoline after preparing it. All right, so now it's straight to business. How I would be preparing this um, crinoline and the breast tube. They call it cape. You see it in a, I just have this idea of cape, cape on blouses. Nowadays, when you see the concept of dresses, gowns, even sometimes up to skirt. There's this extra cape either going to the left or to the right. So I thought of doing something with it to a turban. So that was what actually gave birth to this concept. So what I'm doing right away is uh, putting the horse tail, or otherwise called crinoline, on the breast tube. So I would be sewing it round, as in all sides. The shape I have here is a rectangular shape, so I would be sewing through the rectangular shape. And then one other interesting thing is I would be adding this crinoline to the front and back of this breast tube. I did it separately so that you would understand it. If not, I can like put one under, put the other one on top while I sew. All right, so I'll be sewing it on both sides. So this way, if you look at it, this is just one, and it's not that firm, it's not that strong. So I need to like put a second one under so that it will not have that firmness, that thickness. You see, it's not really standing well now, it's even breaking. So I need to like double it up. So I'll be putting the second one on the other side, and I'll be sewing it the same way I sewed the first one. All right, like I said, I called this concept the queen's concept. It's only a queen that comes out in a very different but very beautiful and attractive way. Queens don't wear common things. So this is a queen's concept, and is something you wear and you call attention. It attracts attention, you understand. So really believe in it. I just created it today. I love it, and I also know that you would love it too. So this is just all I'll do, and I'll repeat this for the three stripes of breast tube I cut out. Another thing is you can actually double both the back and front with the crinoline, especially when you feel is not standing enough and you still feel you need it to be stronger than it is right now. So you can double the front and then double at the back. That is, you can have two pieces at the front and two pieces at the back. But for me, one piece is okay. So you can see that now is able to stand on its own and no part of it is breaking. So I would need to cover it up with the bridal satin. I would need to cover it up with the bridal satin, but that would be after I am done preparing the base. That is the cap itself. So today's cap, I'm not just going to be sewing the bridal satin or doubling just the bridal satin. I need the cap to also look outstanding. I want it to look like what do I call it? Like a lift, like a turban lift. That's what I want. So I want it to be strong on its own. I want it to stand even without anything being filled in it, without a turban lift. I want it to stand. So because of that, I would be preparing it like I'm preparing a turban uh, lift. All right. So what I would be doing is, first of all, I will create my pleat, and then the length of the satin I am using is 19 inches. You don't necessarily need to use 19 inches to achieve this style. Obviously, you can work with 16. So 16 inches is okay because I would be preparing two different pleats, after which I would be crossing it to create a V front. So that's the whole idea of this concept. So I would be creating a V uh, front. So 16 inches is perfect for the length, and then your width, actually I did not put the measurement of this width because it actually depends on the number of pleats that you want. But if you work with 16 by 16, I don't think it's bad. It will be okay as well. So if you want the size of pleats I have here, so you can do like 16 by 16 and it will be perfect. If you just want three pleats like I already have now, it means you can cut off the excessive fabric behind. All right. So let me use this opportunity to welcome those persons that are just joining or discovering Creative Ends International for the first time. If today is your first time stopping by Creative Ends International, I just want to welcome you to my platform. You are welcome, you are welcome, you are welcome. If you love what you see here today, please I encourage you to subscribe to this channel. On this channel, like the name implies, we deal with creativity. We are creative. So we come up with different ideas, and also we are solution providers. So if you have challenges, you can actually send me the picture of turban, auto gele, fascinator, be it at where you have challenges, and I would be responding to you. And together we can do it better. Trust me. Okay, so my plate is ready. Both plates are ready. All I need to do now is just cross it like this, put one across the other, measure the size that I need, and then we fix the cover on it and we are good to go. Now, here is what I'm going to do about this turban cover today. Like I said, I want it to stand on its own. So because of that, I would be using the chest wording. You can see how I'm squeezing it in my hands there. It's so soft, you understand, and so friendly to the skin, so friendly. So I would be using the chest warding inside the satin. So it means I would be using my satin to cover up the chest warding. And what I would do is just fix it inside like this. Make sure that it is relaxing and no part of it is like bulging out. Then I'll just use my straight stitches to hold it down, trim off the excess chest warding, and then I'll create my cap with it. So with that, you just see the cap standing out, standing without effortlessly, as in standing effortlessly. Yes. All right. So when you try to trim in a way that the chest warding would not come out from the sewing. You know, the sewing has to overlap. That is part of the excess fabric should overlap the chest warding. This will help me to be able to fix it easily on the base. So now it is time for me to fix it on the base. What I need to do is just fold it into two, take the midpoint and place it on the V part of the base. I'll just get a needle, a pin, or whatever I know I can use to hold it down, huh? To like just pin it down so that while I sew, I will not miss any part. Now, there's something very important I would be explaining to you here. And something else I would like to say is please do not skip the videos, because when you skip, you end up asking me questions about things or informations that I actually provided in this video. So if you look at now, there is this excess part there. I'm not sewing it. I'm not going to join that part. That is to enable me fix the handle of this turban easily. So I'm just leaving about 5 inches uh, behind. That is, I'm going to leave 5 inches off the base, and then sew. So that 5 inches you can see now, the part I did not join is that place that I would be fixing the belt to tie uh, the turban. Remember, this is not a stretchy fabric, so I would need to tie it. And for me to tie it in a comfortable way, I mean, I need to like make provision for the handle to be fixed. All right, so now I am done. I will first of all now fold it. Now, before I sewed, what I did was to take it to my weaving machine, and then I weaved out the excess. So I would be sewing now. So you see, I will not sew that part. But underneath, I would need to take a measurement that can fit into the head without that is a measurement that can fit comfortably into the head like a cap. So I would be using 14, 14 inches to close. But if you look carefully, you will see that I actually skipped the belt. I skipped the first part, which is the pleated part. Then I just did the sewing on the cover of the turban using 14 inches. Usually 14 inches would be too big for the head, because normal head size is 20 to 22. So on a fold should just be 11. But because this cap needs to fit into the head without any other further openings, I have to like use 14 inches to close. So the next thing I would be doing quickly is cutting off the excess part. So after cutting out this part, it would be necessary especially when you are working for your clients, for you to weave this aspect, this very part. You can see that the chest wording is actually showing, which ought not to be. So it's important that you weave it. But I did not weave because I was just like making this video for the purpose of illustration. But when I'm working for my client, I would be weaving. So please take note of that. So the cap is ready. You can see how smooth it is and how lovely it is looking. Is that fine? So it's ready. We would be fixing the handle. But before that, I would need to cover the hostel that I prepared earlier. I would need to cover it with the satin fabric. I would need to cover it with the satin fabric. So you can, you can sew the size of your hostel. Let me say 4 inches. After sewing, you turn it out and then fix the hostel inside. But if you do not want it that way, you can actually use the fabric to just wrap around the hostel or the stripe that you've prepared, and make sure you cover it up and make sure that the fabric is smooth as well before you go ahead with the project. So you can see this was how I actually prepared mine. So also you can sew through it after putting it in inside like this. You can use your machine to like sew through it to ensure proper smoothness. You understand? I told you that I got this idea from the cape that we normally have in our dresses nowadays. And what I love about today's fashion is everything is trending. It just depends on how you rock your outfit. If not, for me, everything is trending. You just do something and rock it well, everybody follows. So this is my queen's concept. All right, so it would be time for me to fix the stripes to the turban. So where I would be using is that part where I close it. That's the part I would be fixing it to. Yes, just like this. So I would be fixing the three, and they will differ in the height. You understand? The first one, the second will be higher than the first. The third one would be higher than the second. So what I did was that I have same measurement of stripe, but I now, because today is the first day I'm creating this concept, so I thought about it that if the stripes are of different lengths, they would meet on the same spot. But if they are of the same length, then they cannot meet on the same spot because you would need to lift one above the other. So the choice is yours, I've explained. So I would be joining it with some kind of distance from each other so that one can be higher than the other. Wow. Okay. So the part I'm using my hand needle now, you can actually use your sewing machine. But I just discovered that it has become very thick. So using the sewing machine might be a little bit difficult. So it's easier for me to just walk through it with the hand needle. I don't know if there's any part of this turban I still need to explain. So I want to allow you to watch this video and also allow you to ask questions if you deem it fit to do that. So I would allow you to watch this video by yourself. I think the remaining parts you can understand it on your own. Once again, please do not forget to subscribe to Creative Ends International. Become part of my community. Let's grow together. Let's grow together. All right. So for now, I think from my end, I would be saying buy. So please watch the video to the end so that you can get every details of this video, and also you can create your own queen turbans concept. So for now, bye.